Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayed Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8, Lord Krishna shows the universal form. Text number 24. Yarhi Angana Darshaniya Kumara Lila. Actually, the word is Lila, and in the Sandhi it becomes Lila. Kumara Lila, that's the word. Yarhyangana Darshaniya Kumara Lila Antarvraje Tad Abalaha Pragrihita Puchai Antarvraje Tad Abala Pragrihita Puchai Vatsair Itastata Ubha Anukrishyamano Vatsaritastata Ubhav Anukrishyamano Prekshantya Ujjita Griha Jahrushur Asantyaha Prekshantya Ujjita Griha Jahrushur Hasantyaha Yarhyangana Darshaniya Kumara Lila Antarvraje Tadabala Pragrihita Puchai Vatsaritastata Ubhav Anukrishyamano Prekshantya Ujjita Griha Jahrushur Hasantyaha Yarhyangana Darshaniya Kumara Lila Antarvraje Tadabala Pragrihita Puchai Vatsaritastata Ubhavanu Krishyamano Prekshantyajujhita jahrushurhasantyaha. Here he, when Angana Darshaniya, visible only to the ladies within the house, Kumara Lila, the pastimes Sri Krishna and Balaram exhibited as children, Antah Vraje, within the inside of Vraja, in the house of Nanda Maharaj, that at that time, Abalaha, all the ladies, Pragrihita Puchai, the ends of their tails having been caught by Krishna and Balaram, Vatsai, by the calves, Itah Tataha, here and there, Ubhav, both Krishna and Balaram, Anukrishyamanav, being dragged, Prekshantyaha, seeing such things, Ujjhita, given up, Grihaha, their household affairs, Jahrushuhu, enjoyed very much, Hasantyaha, while laughing. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Within the house of Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd ladies would enjoy seeing the pastimes of the babies Rama and Krishna. The babies would catch the ends of the calves' tails, and the calves would drag them here and there. When the ladies saw these pastimes, they certainly stopped their household activities and laughed and enjoyed the incidents. Please repeat this translation after me. Yet, within the house of Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd ladies would enjoy seeing the pastimes of the babies, Rama and Krishna. The babies would catch the ends of the calves' tails, and the calves would drag them here and there. When the ladies saw these pastimes, they certainly stopped their household activities and laughed and enjoyed the incidents. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. While crawling in curiosity, Krishna and Balaram would sometimes catch the ends of the tails of calves. The calves, feeling that someone had caught them, would begin to flee here and there, and the babies would hold on very tightly, being afraid of how the calves were moving. The calves, seeing that the babies were holding them tightly, would also become afraid. Then the ladies would come to rescue the babies and gladly laugh. This was their enjoyment. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shukadeva Goswami is describing these childhood pastimes of Krishna and Balaram to Parikshit Maharaj and all the assembled saintly persons. These saintly persons have assembled from all over the universe. It's not just another gathering. It's actually the gathering of the topmost transcendentalists in the whole universe. So, taking these facts into consideration, we should try to understand why Shukadeva Goswami is describing these incidents. After all, what would be the interest of Parikshit Maharaj and even the other transcendentalists to hear some babies are in the courtyard where there are calves, and they are rolling in cow dung and cow urine. What is the relevance of this to Parikshit Maharaj facing death, going to face death? He wants to prepare. How should I be prepared to face death? So somebody may not understand among the ordinary people. Just reduce the volume a little. It's too much. Somebody may not understand the significance or the importance of why Shukadeva Goswami is describing this. Earlier to this, nowhere you find Shukadeva Goswami in the entire 9 cantos. Of course, he starts speaking in the second canto. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Nowhere he has described some babies crawling and Transcendental is sitting and hearing, oh, some babies are crawling, they are rolling in mud, and some ladies are seeing and laughing and enjoying. Nowhere you find in the entire Bhagavatam up to 9th canto, you never find such descriptions. So, what is the significance of these descriptions? The importance is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Brahman, whatever activities he performs are all completely transcendental. In one line, Krishna finishes off in the Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma cha me divyam. My birth, my activities, all are completely transcendental. Divyam. And because that is divyam, only Shukadeva Goswami is describing them. Otherwise, he has no business. This is no ordinary talk, loose talk. So, Krishna and Balaram are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Always. Not like the Mayavadis think that the Supreme Brahman assumes a human-like form and then that form the Mayavadis consider as made of sattva guna. They think that's a form that is made of sattva guna. No, it is first of all not a form that is made up. It is the original form of the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, the Mayavadis, their understanding of the Supreme Brahman is based on the statements of the original Vedas and the Upanishads. Unfortunately, they don't consider the descriptions in the Bhagavatam as descriptions of the Supreme Brahman, Supreme Absolute Truth. They think these are all different kinds of explanations for less intelligent people called devotees. Because these devotees, according to them, are sentimental people. So sentimental people like to hear such stories. So actually, the Mayavadis don't believe that these are factual incidents which are seriously being described by the greatest transcendentalist, Shukadeva Goswami. And who are his audience? They are also the topmost transcendentalists in the whole universe. That description is given in the first canto ending. Who all assembled for this gathering? All topmost transcendentalists. The whole universe, upper planets particularly. Because Shukadeva Goswami, among them also, Shukadeva Goswami is the topmost. So they come to hear Shukadeva Goswami. And he is very seriously describing this. So therefore, the Mayavadis' theory that these descriptions are not to be taken as facts is completely wrong. These are actual facts. And they are to be considered very, very seriously, these descriptions. That's why our acharyas in the purports, they quote such verses, just like in the 21st verse purport. Shrutim apare smritim itare bharatam anye bhajantu bhavabhitaha. There are people who are intelligent enough to understand this material world is a very dangerous place. Or the same description in the Bhagavatam. Padam padam yat pipadam. Every step there is danger. It's a place filled with miseries. Dukkhalayam. So, to get out of this material existence, there are people who study the Shruti, the original Vedas. There are others who study the Smriti literature, like the Puranas and Itihasas and the Dharma Shastras. There are people who just study the Mahabharata, Bharatam, because it contains the teachings of the Vedas in a very easily understandable way in terms of describing the activities of the Supreme Lord in his incarnations. But aham, as far as I am concerned, they may study the Shruti literature, the Smriti literature, or Mahabharata. But as far as I am concerned, I shall worship aham iha Nandam Vande. Who is this Nanda whom this devotee is worshipping or deciding to worship? Yasyalinde Param Brahma, in whose courtyard the Supreme Brahman is crawling. Krishna is crawling in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, that Nanda, father of Krishna, in Krishna's childhood pastimes. I'll worship Nanda Maharaj. And I'm satisfied with that. I can very easily cross over this ocean of material existence, fearful material world, simply by worshipping Nanda Maharaj. Why? Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Brahman, Param Brahma, has appeared as his son. Unless he is a pure devotee, the Lord will not select anybody simply to appear as their son. Not any ordinary person, pure devotee. So I shall just worship the pure devotee Nanda Maharaj, and by that I will very easily get out of this material existence. Now Krishna, the Param Brahma, is crawling in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. What is he doing there? Crawling the house of Nanda Maharaj, courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. It is actually to teach us an important lesson that the Supreme Lord, in his original form as Krishna, is actually engaged in his transcendental pastimes with his pure devotees, who are also simply engaged in participating in Krishna's Lila in the mood of trying to serve Krishna. It's not that because they have free time, like parents sometimes, when they have free time, they'll play with the children. But here, it is not said when they had free time, they would play with the children. No. Or they would watch the children playing. No. It is said here, when the ladies saw these pastimes, they certainly stopped their household activities and laughed and enjoyed the incidents. So, for the devotees of Krishna who are actually serving Krishna in Vrindavan particularly, because in Vrindavan Krishna has no other business other than serving his devotees. Krishna is serving his devotees and devotees are serving Krishna. This is Vrindavan. And this is very, very difficult to understand. First of all, why should Krishna serve his devotees? And how is it that the devotees are serving Krishna? By participating in his pastimes. You don't see descriptions of Nanda Maharaj, sitting and doing some serious chanting and prayers and nothing. You don't hear any descriptions like that. In the next verse, it is described, Nanda and Yashoda were always anxious to protect this child against so many different types of dangers when they were very small children, Krishna and Balaram. So many dangers. So that's their seriousness. Any parent, when a small child is in danger, definitely be very anxious to protect the child. Exactly like that, Krishna and Balaram, they are displaying those pastimes in which Nanda and Yashoda are so much anxious to protect their child, who is the Supreme Brahman. First of all, the Supreme Brahman doesn't require protection. And still, Nanda and Yashoda are completely absorbed in taking care of the small children, Krishna and Balaram. So this cannot be understood by anybody except the acharyas, the pure devotees, who actually belong to the spiritual world and who come to our world to help us to get attracted to such wonderful pastimes of Krishna and Balaram and get out of this material existence simply by hearing this. That's all. What is Parikshit Maharaj doing? He's sitting and hearing Shukadeva Goswami. That's all he's doing. He's not doing anything else. He's ready for doing whatever required to prepare himself for facing death. But Shukadeva Goswami says, you simply sit and hear. That's all. Don't worry. And already, Shukadeva Goswami, in the beginning itself, he has given assurance to Parikshit Maharaj that in the past, there was one king, Khatwanga. He was a Rajarshi, he was a saintly king. So he's called Khatwanga Muni or Khatwanga Rishi. So that Khatwanga Rishi, he was busy in his kingly duties, but when he learned that there is only one moment more for him to quit the body, he stopped everything, all his activities, simply went to one temple of Krishna and sat there and actually offered his devotional service to Krishna and went back to Godhead. So this is unheard of. This is totally unheard of. You don't hear like that. It's called rarest of the rare examples. So, Shukadeva Goswami's, because Parikshit Maharaj's anxiety was, I have only 7 days' time. And to add to his anxiety, the other saintly persons whom he consulted, though Parikshit Maharaj knows what to do. The description is there in the first canto itself. When he came to that holy place to prepare himself for facing death, he offered respects and prayers to the saintly persons and told them, please sing the glories of Vishnu. That was his prayer to them. But then, that was what he prayed to them. Please sing the prayers of Vishnu. Please sing the glories of Vishnu. But then, Parikshit Maharaj also was taking a humble position, even though he knew what he should do to prepare for death. As a matter of etiquette, a king has come to the holy place, he will definitely inquire from saintly persons, what should I do to prepare for death? So he inquired from them also, what should I do to prepare for death? So they began to discuss among themselves that 7 days is very short time. 7 days is very short time. So they could not exactly tell him what he could do next 7 days so that he can achieve perfection. So while discussions were going on, Shukadeva Goswami entered that assembly. And as soon as he entered, oh, Shukadeva Goswami has come, everybody stood up. And then Parikshit Maharaj, naturally, when these people are not giving any solution, he saw it as an arrangement of Krishna, that Shukadeva Goswami has come. he nicely welcomed Shukadeva Goswami, gave him a seat of respect, honor, and again asked him, what should I do? Next 7 days, what should I do? I got to face death. Shukadeva Goswami said, appears like you have a lot of anxiety in your face. That 7 days, is it enough? Because already the other saintly persons are not able to guide Parikshit Maharaj. Even though he knows what to do, but he took a humble position and he was asking. Nobody else could give him a suggestion what he should do. So Shukadeva Goswami said, don't worry. You simply sit and hear the glories of the Lord. Confirming what Parikshit Maharaj had requested the saintly persons. He confirmed that. And he also gave an assurance that 1 week is a lot of time. That Khatvanga Maharaj, he did the same thing in just one muhurta, one moment. And he achieved perfection, going back to Godhead. That's enough. That's why at the end of the Bhagavatam, it's very interesting what Suta Goswami says. Suta Goswami summarizes the topics of the Bhagavatam, because Bhagavatam is a very big scripture. So summarizes the topics of the Bhagavatam in the 12th chapter of the 12th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the end of the Bhagavatam. And there he says at the end, if someone hears even one verse of the Bhagavatam, because 18,000 verses, people may think we don't have time to sit and hear or study or read. 18,000 verses. It says, even if you hear one verse of the Bhagavatam, and to glorify the Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, not only one verse, even if somebody hears half a verse, not just half a verse, even 1/4 of a verse, it's called one pada. Like 4 lines we read today's verse. So one line is like 1/4 of the verse. 1/4 of the verse. Not just 1/4, even one word of the Bhagavatam. They hear or read or study. They can achieve ultimate perfection of spiritual life. That's the potency of the Bhagavatam. And such Bhagavatam, the Mayavadis consider as some stories. They consider it as some stories. But Shukadeva Goswami is very seriously narrating these pastimes of Krishna. And Shukadeva Goswami declares, this child, in a later chapter it's going to come. I don't think it is here. Yeah, it's here. This is a very famous verse by Shukadeva Goswami. Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena mayashritanam naradarakena sakam vijakru krita punya punja. This verse is quoted by Prabhupada many times. And it's the central verse to understanding the importance of Shukadeva Goswami describing this childish activities of Krishna and Balaram. What is he telling? What is Shukadeva Goswami saying? All the cowherd boys used to play with Krishna. This is describing another pastime, Agasura, killing of demon Agasura. That pastime while describing. All the cowherd boys used to play with Krishna. Who is Krishna? Who is the source of the Brahman effulgence for Jnanis desiring to merge into that effulgence? this child Krishna with whom the cowherd boys are playing in Vrindavan, he is the source of the Brahman effulgence for jnanis desiring to merge into that effulgence. Ittam satam Brahma sukhanubhutya. Then Krishna is also the Supreme Personality of Godhead for devotees who have accepted eternal servitorship. The Bhakti Yogis. Jnanis means here the Jnana Yogis. Their aim is to merge into that Brahman effulgence. That's their desire of liberation. And the devotees, they have become eternal servitors of the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, and they accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even in his child form, also they worship Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Shukadeva Goswami says, for ordinary persons, this Krishna is another ordinary child. Just another ordinary child. So ordinary persons can't understand Krishna as Supreme Brahman, source of the Brahman effulgence. They can't understand. And what about the cowherd boys who are playing with Krishna? Who are they? The cowherd boys who are playing with Krishna, having accumulated the results of pious activities for many, many lives, were able to associate with Krishna in this way. How can one explain their great fortune? With whom are they playing? They're playing with the Supreme Personality of God, the Supreme Brahman. And they have qualified themselves by accumulating heaps of pious activities in millions of lifetimes. Sakam vijagru krita punya punja. Millions of lives they have performed punya. This punya is not ordinary punya. This is bhaktonmukha punya. Punya which actually is in the category of bhakti. There are three kinds of punya. Bhogonmukha punya, mokshonmukha punya, and bhaktionmukha punya. This is explained by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. When Krishna says, Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrataha. Those whose sinful activities have completely been eradicated, antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. Now this punya is not ordinary punya. This is punya which is for progressing in devotional service. Te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrataha. So this punya is bhajante mam dridhavrataha, to such punya by performing pure devotional service. Dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam. Such pure devotees who render devotional service to Krishna, they actually are those who accumulate that kind of punya by performing pure devotional service. Such boys are playing with Krishna, not ordinary boys. The boys are neither ordinary nor is Krishna ordinary child. That Shukadeva Goswami is describing in the later chapter, in the 12th chapter is going to come. So let's stop here. Rantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.